Jonathan Morrell.
BBC Wiltshire.
Now then, what do you keep in your shed? A lawnmower, your DIY tools, leftover tins of paint. For some, and this seems to be a bit of a male thing, the garden shed can be a haven, a quiet place of retreat and contemplation. There's a whole movement dedicated to the shed as a place of relaxation and well-being. It's called Men's Sheds, and they're trying to set up a group in Chippenham. First meeting this afternoon, and Jeff's on the line now. Jeff Endicott. Hello, Jeff.
Hello there.
Hello. I'm sorry we've kept you waiting. We weren't meant to do this about 10 minutes ago, but we wanted to hear from Elaine.
I think you just illustrated in the previous conversation why there's a need for organisations like the Men's Shed. If only that young man was in the Chippenham area, we'd welcome him. There are a lot of lonely people out there who need support, and that's part of what the Men's Shed movement will do.
I think that's exactly right. Yeah. So loneliness. I mean, my first question was going to be, what's it all about? But you're setting up the new group. Well, obviously, you think there's a need for it.
Yeah, I mean, the Men's Shed movement is growing tremendously. I saw it on Points West, actually. It's all the BBC's fault, this, if I hadn't known about it. If I hadn't seen it.
It normally is.
We happened to have a building available, which was occupied by the Model Rower Club who were moving out. And I thought, who can make use of this building? And the more I saw about the Men's Shed movement, thinking there are men who don't talk to each other, who are isolated, who don't get out, I thought, that's exactly what we ought to be doing here. There are groups already started, Warminster, Westbury, Melksham, Trowbridge, Corsham, and I thought, well, why hasn't Chippenham got a group? Well, we've got a building available, and I thought, let's call a meeting. Let's see if anybody actually wants to come along and get this thing going. So this afternoon at the Weybridge, which is a green wooden building up by Chippenham Station, it's the one that backs onto Homebase. We've got a meeting, 2:30, all welcome, including women, actually.
Yeah.
Come along and let's see if we can get one of these shed groups going in Chippenham as well.
Yeah, because they're a big thing, aren't they? Particularly in Australia, I think, is where this all started, really.
Well, that's right. They're very big in Australia, and Ireland too. They seem to have taken off in Ireland, and it's only recently that there seem to be sheds sort of starting up in this country. Although I understand from the Men's Sheds organisation, and if you are interested, go to mensheds.org.uk. There's a lot more on there. That they're opening up in England at about 2 a week. So, there's really a sort of momentum now being gained by the whole shed movement.
I've heard it said that it's also a place to, obviously make friends, but also to, men aren't good at talking about how they feel, and that the Men's Sheds project has actually helped men to talk about, things that they can't talk about, elsewhere in their life. Is that true? Have you heard that?
Absolutely right. I've seen somewhere that women talk face to face and men talk shoulder to shoulder. And there's a lot to that. Men will sort of stand at a workbench or something, and they won't face each other. They'll just sort of, talk sideways. And there are obviously an awful lot of people out there who really want to get out and meet people and do something and put the world to rights so someone will actually listen to them.
Yeah.
Put the kettle on, have a cup of tea, and talk.
Sounds good to me.
Talking is very important.
Yeah.
And that's really what we're going to be about in Chippenham.
Yeah, excellent. And I've also, I can't remember where, but I saw this on the TV, and there were sort of workbenches as well, so there were a couple of blokes doing a bit of, I think it was woodwork. Are you going to do that kind of thing there as well?
We've got workbenches, we've got tools. I mean, the place is set up already for this because it's been used for several years by a Model Railway Club who are moving out to their own premises in Calne. So it's set up to do woodwork, carpentry, metalwork, electronics. There's talk about computer stuff as well. We've got an internet connection in the building. All these things are possible. But really, the key, it's a bit like a church isn't a building, it's a congregation. Well, a Men's Shed isn't a building, it isn't a shed, it's the people.
Yeah.
So really, this afternoon, we want to collect together the people and say, well, look, if we've got this building, if we can meet in this building, what would you like to do with it? It's your organisation, it's your shed, what do you want to do?
Excellent. Right, okay. Just remind us where it is again.
It is at the Weybridge in Chippenham. It's an old road. If you've got a sat-nav, the postcode is SN151JA. But it actually used to be the old coal office. It's the green wooden building, which you can see from Chippenham Railway Station, and it backs onto Homebase at Hathaway Retail Park. So if you sort of head for Hathaway Park and turn right past the loading bay of Homebase, we're there on the corner.
Excellent. Look, I hope you get plenty of people there. And
let's say I hope more like the young lad we were talking about before. People like that, we want to support people like that. Let's just get it going to help people like that in our community in Chippenham.
Excellent. Right. Okay. Well, look, thanks for coming on today, and I think hopefully it will be a huge success and a place that people go for. Well, I don't know, company or
cups of tea, or more cups of tea, or putting the world to right in cups of tea. Yeah,
excellent.
Like that.
It sounds good to me.
Well, and I'll come back if I may and sort of let you know how we get on.
Absolutely. Yeah, please do. Please do. Jeff, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
Good luck with it. Thank you. Jeff Endicott there, Chippenham Men's Shed. They're opening up everywhere. And, as we were saying, hopefully it will be a big success and people will be there to, do whatever you like, really. It's all about company, being with other people and, putting the world to rights.